Good evening. My name is Maria Ferrer, and I am the Executive Director of Las Comadres Para Las Americas. I also want to say, to introduce you to our national and international founder, Dr. Nora de Hoyos Comstock. Say hi, Nora.
Hi.
We want to welcome you to tonight's first session of Las Comadres Presents Mind, Body, and Spirit with our hostess, Jeannie Diaz of Jeannie Diaz Yoga. Jeannie is a 200-hour yoga and meditation teacher based in New York City. Her classes focus on breath work, mindfulness, body positivity, and are accessible to all. She teaches in both English and Spanish. Tonight, Jeannie will lead a discussion with Comadres Sabina, Lissette, and Lucinda, ages 25 to 75, who will share their experiences and how yoga has strengthened their mind, their body, and their spirit. Jeannie will end the presentation with a 20-hour session of chair yoga.
20 minutes, 20 hours.
20 hour. Yes. Jeannie?
Yes. All right, so welcome and good evening. So this is the first series of the Mind, Body, and Spirit. And I wanted to spin this a little bit differently tonight. So the yoga that we're going to focus on is chair yoga. But to connect this to mind, body, and spirit, I wanted to start backwards. Sometimes I start backwards, and I'll probably start my sequence tonight backwards as well. So spirit. Spirit with yoga to me is how I started. So for myself, yoga was my grand awakening, right? So that's spirit. And as far as body, everyone kind of knows the physical aspects of yoga, right? It's good for your circulation, for your flexibility, for your respiration, for cardio, for energy, all that good stuff. But yoga does make you become stronger. And I think that's one of the beautiful things about yoga. And I always really stress that yoga is for every body. And I want to say that first, because that was kind of like my misconception when I first started yoga. I thought, oh my God, you had to be like this super flexible person. And that's a completely misconception. And that was probably one of my first insecurities going into yoga, even into yoga teacher training. And there's a quote, I know it goes around everywhere, but I do have a quote this because I think it is what it is. It says, yoga is not about touching your toes, it's what you learn on the way down. So if I can sum up mind, that would be it. And with the mind, I feel that your connection to your breath, right? It will then still your mind, which then stills your body, which is one of the most beautiful things in yoga, is connecting your breath to your movement, which we'll do tonight. And I didn't want to be too long because I love the people that the comadres that we have tonight. They have taken my classes for the last almost 3 years. And one of the reasons why I started chair yoga is when we started working from home. And I received my certification when we started working from home, but it was merely, people were reaching out to me saying that, I don't have a big space. How can I do yoga? I'm not flexible, right? The misconception. Either they've never done yoga or they were at a point in their life where they felt that they couldn't really do traditional poses that are on the mat. So chair yoga for me, I think it's great for beginners. It's great for people that have maybe stopped practicing and want to get back to practicing. It's a great tool that you can do not only on your chair, on your couch, on an ottoman, on your bed, when you're at work. And it definitely gets you back into your mojo. I would say that as well. So tonight I want to also focus on just appreciating every time you show up for yourself. I think that's very important. And also finding joy in every single thing you do when it comes to yoga, when it comes to life in general. But when it comes to yoga, just even taking that little step, starting with chair yoga, right? Starting with any yoga, but being gentle with yourself, rejoicing in the fact that you're doing something, right? You're moving. I think that's the most important thing, movement. And I feel like I just want to stress that a lot. And really building your home base. So it's about building your foundation, right? Your foundation can start with just one day, just 30 minutes, just 10 minutes. I always stress that some people think, another misconception, oh, when I get into yoga, I have to do it like every day. That's not the case, right? You can start one day a week, Sundays, right? And committing to Sundays, right? That's your personal commitment. 10 minutes is fine. 5 minutes is fine. The fact that you're moving and, okay, I thought that was a question for me. All right. So the fact that you're moving, it's the key. So yoga is about the mind-body connection. I want to talk about coming back to your home base, which is your center, which is just when you start your foundation. And again, it's okay if your foundation just starts with one day a week, because you're committing time to yourself, and that's key. And okay, I didn't want to take up too much time on the history of yoga, right? At least not today. So I am going to we have 3 comadres. I think that they, like I said, they have been joining my classes for the past 3 years. I want to give a shout out to one comadre who has religiously for the past 3 years has been attending my Tuesdays and Friday classes. I must say, like in 3 years, she's probably missed 5 times. And I always stress that this is a gift that you're gifting yourself, showing up. And I think that's the most important thing. So I am going to introduce Sabina. She's from Yonkers, and Lissette, who is from Harlem. And then we have Lucinda, who's from Guadalajara. So yeah, she tunes in faithfully, always on time. And thank you everyone for showing up. And if you have any questions now for me, but we're gonna hold off on most questions until after they speak. So yeah, go ahead. All right, so.
Hey.
Is everyone excited? I don't see everyone. Okay, I can't see if anyone is spotlighted, which is fine.
Yes, the 4 of you are spotlighted.
All right, great. Thank you, Maria. All right, so we'll start with Sabina, who's going to talk about her journey towards yoga, her journey is specifically towards chair yoga, because that's what we're focusing on tonight. Sabina.
Okay. Okay, good evening, comadres. How Jenny told you, I'm Sabina from Yonkers, New York, and taking chair yoga with Jeannie for almost 3 years. I'm so happy about it. Let me tell you my journey. About 6 years ago, I go into an accident. Long story short, I became disabled. Before the accident, I was doing regular yoga, swimming, Zumba, everything you can imagine, working full-time, plus part-time, doing a very tough job in correction facilities and, you know, doing like a very, very tough, from one day to another day, became disabled. I found myself in one point saying, what can I do with my life? I cannot do what I was doing. I'm paralyzed. What can I do? I cannot do nothing. And the doctor said, you cannot do nothing. The Social Security, you cannot do nothing. Your life is over. I said, no, it's impossible. I found child yoga, and I say, I can do an adjustment. I can do adaptation, like every disabled person, like accommodation, special accommodation. Was working very good, meaning like my body and my mind had to do an adjustment. I had to put together again and make this operation of adjust my mind to my new body. Was very, very, very hard. I passed through a lot, but let me tell you, it's possible. When I found Jeannie, I found the practice, I found all the content of the yoga, because before for me, yoga was a sport, was the pose, the stretching, the doing, the, you know, all the sport part. But now for me is all the feeling, all the grounding. I feel I can be a better person. When I finish the class, I feel like I'm not the same. And I go to my religious practice and I put all together, you know, and I say everything is part of a plan. I say, I don't found this chair yoga because of nothing. I found for a reason, and everything has a reason. And when things happen in life, in the beginning, maybe they can look is something looks like a bad, but if we accept and we follow through and we discover the amazing thing we can find, we really, really, really can do something positive. In this moment, I can really say I put all together and I really changed my life. And I'm dealing with this. I invite you to practice chair yoga. If somebody of you are passing through similar situation I'm going through, please try this. And it's amazing. Thank you. Thank you, comadres.
Sabina, what poses do you feel? I know you talked about, you know, your disability, and I'm always highlighting how yoga is beneficial for everyone in different areas of their life. What poses do you feel you benefit from the most? Or even if it's just one pose.
Oh, for me, the twisting. When we twist, the twist.
Yes. Yes.
And I feel all my body, all my vertebral cordon is stretching, and every vertebrae is going to the right place. I feel after that, I can think straight. You know, my body becomes straight and my mind can think better. It's like interconnected. And
really, that's exactly what it is. And And twisting is really good for digestive system, which we'll be doing tonight. I especially in the evenings, I think that's key. Thank you, Sabina. We have Lissette from Harlem. So Lissette, if you want to talk about your mind experience, just.
Sure. Buenas noches. Good evening, ladies. Las comadres. How's everyone doing? So I've actually taken, before I started taking chair yoga, I used to do active yoga in centers and so forth after work, before COVID. And once COVID hit, everything closed down and there was nowhere to go, for to do yoga or to do any gym. So when Jeannie had the idea and she told me about the chair yoga class that she's was going to create and through Zoom, for free, and we started all our friends, and then she expanded her classes to the comadres. I'm like, that's even more wonderful. You can expose your knowledge of yoga, because she introduced me to yoga. Actually, we used to go to yoga together, and it was wonderful as when we were active yoga classes. Now for the chair yoga itself, we started. It's 2023, so we started during COVID, and personally, COVID really affected me because I have some downturns in my life when it comes to, if we want to talk about spiritual. And when I was being stressed down, I look forward to her class because we were doing the stretches at the same time. When you relax your mind and you're connected to your body, it does take the stress out of as well. And so you kind of forget what's happening in the outside with being quarantined and so forth. You look forward to that class, and that actually benefited me a lot, psychologically and spiritually. And when it comes to the physical part, I suffer from my lower back, and I am an analyst. So being sitting down for a long time really affects me every now and then. Even though you can move every now and then, the movement itself of the chair yoga has really helped me a lot in my back pains, actually minimized as well. Because it's not just for to stretch itself, but it stretch every single pose that we do, it stretches certain position in our body. So for me, it has been really beneficial for me in my condition that I also suffer from a lower back, and my pain has really minimized when we've done chair yoga ever since. So I really appreciate Jeannie taking her time to offer those classes every time she does it every week. And my favorite pose, and I know you have asked me for the favorite pose, is when we do a cat-cow. So when we're sitting down, and I'm sure yoga, Jeannie will show you later, when we're doing the chair yoga, is when I expose my chest high, and we do the opposite way and looking up. For me, that position is good for both physically, and also I feel like I'm exposing my chest up to the sky, saying, everything will be better, and exposing my spirit. So I really love the classes. I enjoy it every single time. And I like that it's, 30 to 40 minutes, not really most of the time. And it's once a week. I try to go twice a week, but only if I can, because we only have so much time in our lives. But one thing that chair yoga has always shown us that take time for yourself. Especially us as women, moms, we have time for our families. It's always a good time to yourself to give to your body that rest, both physically and spiritually. So I really enjoy the class, and I think, it's great for everyone, especially for us, the community of women and Latin women, that we do so much work, family. So it's good to have time for yourself, just me, my breathing, my space. So I think that's really good.
And knowing that when you get on your chair, like, right, like to exhale, to let it all out, right? Your chair can, your that force, right? Some people think, oh, I'm just chair, and it's like, no, your chair can really get that out of you. Like Lisa said, I think you put it beautifully.
Correct, right. Your energy changes. You sleep better too, by the way. You sleep much better, especially when she does the class at night. She does the class at 7:30 on Tuesdays. So that, right away, like a little bird. That's good. Can you hear me?
Yes. No question. It's been okay. Evening classes have been beneficial in helping me to slow down and find my center and work on my breathing. Yes, that breath, body connection. All right, I want to welcome Lucinda from Guadalajara.
Hello.
But more so, you know, talking about your experience with your body and, you know, yoga.
Exactly. The first question was like an immediate one. How do I feel after class? And since I'm lucky enough to get to class 2 different times during the week, on Tuesday I go in the late afternoon. We also have a time difference here, so it's changed a little bit. We don't do daylight savings time in Mexico anymore, but I come in the late afternoon on a Tuesday and early morning, very early morning on a Friday. So I know that it has very definite benefits for both grounding and activating, energizing in the morning. It's kind of amazing. And I told Jeannie, some of the mechanics of it, some of the science of it, I understand, but a lot of it really does feel like magic. And after class, before class, especially in the morning, I might have some creaks and whatever. I'm 72, and by the time I'm into class 5 minutes, they're gone. It's never mind the whole class. It is centering, it's balancing of all the systems. It's amazing. I also have had some injuries over the years, and the repercussions from them have disappeared with yoga, with consistent yoga. Another thing is that I never was consistent about any kind of exercise. I had taken mat yoga, standard yoga for years, but was never totally consistent with it, or with dance, or with a gym or whatever. But I have become much more consistent, and that has definitely affected everything about my body: the way I work, the way I move around in my office, the way I move around in my kitchen, the way I walk around this town. So I feel much more connected to my body, my breath, and the effects are marvelous. The long term, almost 3 years, I was affected very, like everybody, very dramatically by COVID. Couldn't get to the gym anymore, and lots of extra stresses, being in the house all the time and having routines change dramatically. One big thing is I have stayed away from doctors pretty much this whole time. I never caught COVID. That was just lucky. I try to avoid like prescription medication when I can, and not get too much into specialists and stuff, but I have really stayed away from doctors because I'm more connected to myself, and I get less stressed out and less worried about things. And let's see, what else about the body? I feel much more stable and much more like trusting in my body. As I aged, I started to get nervous, and the yoga has really helped me overcome and superar that a lot. My favorite postures are, I say my attitude has gotten sunnier. I never was a very sunny type of character, but it's gotten sunnier the more sun salutations I do. I like the sun salutation. I like the downward facing dog that we do adapted on the chair, or off the chair with the chair as support. I love cat-cow, like Lissette. I laughed when Sabina said the twist, because I always seem to resist the twist because I have to turn away from the class, and I like looking at my sister comadres all the time during class. But I know the twists are amazing for digestion. And we do one that involves a great big circle that we all do together and then bring our hands down together. And that one really is like a symbol for the class for me, because I really do feel connected to the women that I take class with. Thank you all.
All right, amazing. A lot of things I'm hearing are release of stress, better balancing with your mind and also with your body. I have Marilyn here in the chat row. It's just as effective as other forms of yoga, but just a little gentler on the joints. Yes, it is also great for those that are not so balanced. Yes, I agree. That's why you hold on to the chair for the balance, right? And I think just like any yoga class, just like any yoga, once you work on the position for a long time, you get better at it, right? And I think that a lot of the women that have done chair yoga, we've been doing the positions for a little while now, that I feel so confident that you can do it without the chair. So you're already starting yoga off the chair. So I think that's pretty great as well. Do we have any questions for any of the comadres, for Sabina, Lissette, Lucinda, or for myself before we start? Put it on the chat if you want to talk about it.
This is Maria. I have a question.
Hi, Maria.
Hi. I have a question for Sabina. You said that you had an accident and you know, the doctors were telling you that you're disabled, that you can't do nothing, but you know, you were a strong woman and you said, no, this is not for me. I'm going to get better. And so when you started, you know, with the yoga, with the, you know, getting back into, you know, to get your body to function again and stuff, did you start with the chair yoga and that's what helped you strengthen yourself? You're on mute, mommy.
Was helping me to build more flexibility, because the condition I have is leading with the body stiffness. It's a chronic pain condition, and because the pain is all over the place, people get paralyzed, and it's so stiff, people get paralyzed. And I wanna challenge the getting to the wheelchair, ending in a wheelchair. And then I was challenging the pain, and the chair yoga is helping me to build more flexibility and to avoid the stiffness and getting paralyzed. This is the way it's helping me. I continue having pain, even if I move or if I stay still, I have pain anyway. And my operation was, the pain is there anyway, let me move. This is, you know, this, I don't know if this answer your question.
No, that's good. Yes.
Okay.
You're on mute, Jeannie.
Are there any other like yoga related questions? The reason why I'm focusing on chair yoga, because that's what we're doing tonight. And also because I do feel that sometimes it kind of gets like shoved right to the side, because again, people think that, you know, you're not doing chair yoga. When you're doing chair yoga, you're not doing yoga, but you are doing yoga, right? Because that breath, body, spirit, mind connection, right? So, yeah.
I have a question for Jeannie.
Yes.
I had an accident last year, and I'm really much better than I was because, you know, I stay active, but I can't do that much with this arm. I can't raise it all the way. Does chair yoga involve, you know, movement with arms all the way up? Because I can't do that.
So you're asking if chair yoga involves moving of the arms?
Yes.
Yes, it does involve moving of the arms, but you always start with what feels good for your mobility, right? And that's another thing about yoga, right? Some people, another misconception, like, oh, I can't go, my hands can't go all the way up, I'm not doing yoga. No, right. You're still doing yoga. If you're here with your hands close to your chest, you're still doing yoga. You just find different ways, right, of moving your hands. Even like, I'm sure you've been to physical therapy. I'm not a physical therapist, so I don't want to like give advice on different people and you know, what they're going through. But yes, you can still do yoga. It's just a modified version of it, right?
Thank you so much. I appreciate that.
Yeah, I can touch base with you too on different poses. What we are doing tonight, and also now, ladies, just for everyone, what we are doing tonight, go with, honor your body and what you're going through, and do what you can. And know that if you're just on your seat with your hands on your lap, or with your hands at your heart center, and if you're just breathing, you're still doing yoga. That's your breathing, like you're connecting. I think that's a big thing there. Does it help with anxiety? Christy, yes, it helps with anxiety. I think, well, yoga in general, right? Because is there a charge for accessing your yoga? Oh, okay. We'll talk about that. I'll send you and I'll answer that after class. But no, for me, I do not charge. My chair yoga classes are free or by donation. I feel strongly about it being accessible to everyone. It does help with anxiety. Again, breath control. I think that's pranayama and breath control. It's just a different, how can I explain it? It's just a different type of grounding sequence. Contact Jeannie. Yes, Maria, thank you. For any other personal questions. Yes. But it does help with anxiety. It takes time, just like anything emotionally related, mentally related. But yeah, let's begin so that we can get all that, flush it away and ground out for the night. And just know that we'll talk about it more when we start. So if anyone has so I already know one person has issues with the arms, but if there's any really big health concerns I should know about, please put them in the chat if you want to put it for me separately. I encourage, if you have a chair with wheels, that is extremely dangerous. If you have a chair with wheels, find the center of your couch. If you have an ottoman, if you have a bed, stiff knees. Okay. Yes. For safety, let's start on a flat surface. Okay. So chairs without wheels. And for tonight, if we can do yoga without our shoes for a more grounding experience. All right. So just going to shut off my video just for a second. And I will turn it on right when we get to our chairs. All right. So let's, okay. So let's begin at the very tip of your chair. So I want to start with really emphasizing that yoga is about connecting your breath to your movement. And know that in this class, If there's a pose that may not feel good for you today, or is just not in your ability, which is fine, just hands on your knees or hands at heart center, connecting to your breath. That is still yoga. I think that's an important thing to emphasize. All right, so let's begin with taking our hands first. So we're sitting closer to the front of the chair and really finding your footing there first. Really feeling grounded to your feet on the floor. Begin to kind of take your hands and press them down. We really want to find our sitting on the chair, right? Your sit bones, right? Those two bones underneath your bum. So let's find that first. Okay, now I'm going to start this class a little different. Usually I end with a shoulder massage, but let's actually start with a shoulder massage. So first, let's ground down a little bit. So let's begin with our hands to our lap, palms facing down. And let's just find a small gaze in the floor in front of you. Straighten your posture, roll your shoulders back a little bit. Let's slowly have a little light coming into your eyelids. But let's just, and when you're ready, you can just begin to close them. And we'll just start off with a grounding breath, starting with our crown of head and then going all the way down to our feet. Again, to ground yourself. So just for a little bit of knowledge, hands, palms facing down is for grounding and up is for energizing. But for going for the evening, let's start here and just empty out all your air. So let's just start with some vibrational breathing, right? Just slowly opening your mouth and slowly just exhaling. So let's just try to let go of the day. Take about 2 or 3 of those. Let's bring the attention now to your face. It starts like maybe scrunch it really, really tight and then let it go. Taking a nice inhale and then exhale. So we'll start a lot with exhaling with our mouth, breathing out, and then during class, we'll do it with our nose, breathing in and out through our nose. So take another breath. Take a breath, sending it to your shoulders. Inhale and exhale. Sending breath down through your spine with an inhale and an exhale. Sending breath to your knees and all the way down to your calves and to your feet. Really feeling yourself rooted for the night, knowing that it's a beautiful gift that you gave yourself this time, right? This time for you, for your mind, for your body, for your spirit. Thank yourselves just in the beginning of the class, just for showing up for you. It's a beautiful thing. So let's inhale and exhale. All right, let's release. Let's open our eyes if you have them closed. Let's shake out our hands. And let's begin with our shoulder massage, right? So we'll slowly take our right hand to our left shoulder and begin to like slowly pat it down. Just a small pat first. And then we'll take our hand. You can either take your hand on top of your clothing or under. For myself for tonight, I'm gonna put it under, just connect to my skin a little more. And just start to take your 2 fingers and just some circular movements. You want to close your eyes here as well. I encourage that while you give yourself this massage. You want to tug up and down at your skin, however you would usually give yourself a massage when you're tense. Just try to untense tonight, right? Until your head to the right while we're at our left shoulder. Then slowly release that opposite, hands opposite shoulder, giving yourself a nice little massage, right? Nice little massage. All right, so let's start class. Let's crisscross our hands, palms facing you. All right, when you're ready, uncross them, big, big, big circle, open up. Glance at your palms, clap them together, and slowly glide them to heart center. Namaste. From here, let's release. Let's slowly take our right shoulder and sway it back, rolling it back. Let's take our left shoulder and sway it and roll it back. All right, let's go back to our hands at heart center. And with our hands at heart center, and if your hands don't come up high to heart center, you can still keep them low, okay? So we're starting here, and we'll really slowly start to take our hands and glide them to our right shoulder blade, and then slowly gaze to the left. Taking an inhale here, and an exhale. Inhale, and exhale. Slowly gliding your hands back to heart center. Glide them to the left now. So your left palms to your left shoulder blade, and slowly gaze to the right. Inhale and exhale. Slowly back to center. We'll do that again with our right hand to our right shoulder blade, gazing to the left, breathing for 2. Back to center, gliding those palms to the left shoulder blade, gazing to the right, breathing for 2. And then slowly back at heart center. Now, when you're here, let's try to do one of those with your eyes closed. Remember, all my cues are invitations. If you don't feel comfortable, keep your eyes open. It's just tonight just to ground out. Take an inhale here. And an exhale. Slowly glide those hands to the right, gazing to the left. Breathing here for 2. And know that my inhalation and exhalation will be different from yours. So if you're still not done with the pose, stay there. And really just breathe to your individual breath as well. All right, hands gazing to the left shoulder blade, and we're gazing to the right. And if there's a pose that you really like, and if I keep on going to the next pose, stay in that pose. Again, honor how your body is feeling tonight. Okay, if it's available to you, remember, if it's not, this is still yoga right here, just connecting to your breath. If it's available to you, let's slowly begin to really lift up our palms till they come to the crown of your head just a little bit. Go for what feels good for you tonight. And here, let's play like with the Egyptian pose, right? Moving your head back and forth, right? Play with it. Everyone's range of motion is different, and that's okay. It's very beautiful, actually. All right, hands to heart. Let's release. Let's shake that out. Now let's go for those shoulder rolls back. Rolling both shoulders back. Both shoulders back. Both shoulders back. All right, roll them a little more. Then we're going to stop here. Okay, let's slowly bring our hands closer to our hip level. Now we're going to open them up like airplane wings, as wide as you can go. And then slowly bring them back, 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 back. While you're here, just stay here a moment. Always take total inventory of your posture, a small tuck of your navel. Okay, while you're here, let's slowly begin to look up at the ceiling. All right, if it's available to you, tilt your neck back. Now slowly gazing back at the screen. We'll slowly tilt our neck down, tilt your chin in and neck down. Breathing here. All right, let's slowly gaze back at the screen. Let's do a little inhale here. Exhale. Inhale, fill it up. Exhale, release. Okay, here's a different side. I do this sometimes when I'm at my desk a lot or when I'm in the office, because a lot of people always teach, right? Hands, palms facing the screen. But let's try a different way, right? For our hands and just for different feeling. And our arms, let's twist those palms to face the opposite way. So facing behind you now. From here, let's slowly again begin to look up at the ceiling. If it's available to you, tilt your neck back. If not, just stay at neutral. All right, and from here, back to the screen. Tilting your hands back to the screen. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. All right, taking inventory of your body again. If you can, slowly begin to lift your arms up overhead. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Gazing at your fingertips, wiggle them out. Inhaling and exhaling. We're going to do some sun salutations, just one or two. Slowly clap your hands together. Inhale. And exhale, find your hands at heart center. All right, from here, let's slowly begin to open up your feet just a little bit. I'm going to show this the opposite way, but just stay exactly where you are. All right, you need to move a little bit more forward, move a little bit more forward. And again, to your comfort level, right? We'll start here. You can stay here if this feels comfortable for you. Okay, we're going to tilt forward just a little bit. Think of flat back. Okay, just gonna stare down at our feet. So sun salutations, especially on the chair, really good for your lower back. Well, any folding forward, any forward folds, any forward back. All right, stay here. This is still your sun salutation. You want to go a little deeper tonight. You're gonna first release your arms, like very free flowing. Okay, you'll come down a little more, relaxing your neck. And if you want to just see me first and then do it after. So either hands at heart or releasing them down. Or slowly glide your hands alongside of your legs, releasing your neck down a little more. Inhale. Exhale. Okay, slowly begin to glide them up back to your knees, finding a straight spine here. All right, let's release. Okay, now we'll start with the other one, which is this twisting, which is really good for your digestive system. So we'll put that together. Let's do one more sun salutation. All modifications and salutations. Inhale, arms up overhead. Clap them together, slowly glide them to heart center. We'll go a little faster this time, and we're gonna hold it a little longer. So slowly tilt down, hands at heart, just gaze down at the floor on your feet. Okay, you can stay here. All right, slowly rise up, feeling vertebrae by vertebrae. Okay, this one I'm going to demonstrate first because I just took into toe what Lucinda was saying about not liking to follow each other. So we're going to do twisting. Let's start this way. Start with a different twist first. Okay, so we release our hands, shake them out, shake them out. Let's start with our hands on our lap, closer to our knees. We'll start with our right hand to our hip. Let's open up that left arm, gaze at your fingertips. We'll slowly begin to crisscross that hand to touch your right knee. Now, like me, if you're really short with really short fingers, you can tense up on your fingers. Okay, so I begin to glide that hand to your thigh. your outer thigh. Take toll of your posture. Remember, posture is really important. Take toll of your posture. And then slowly begin to gaze at your right shoulder or elbow. Inhale. Exhale. Release. Inhale. Exhale. All right, both hands to hips. Let's go the opposite way. Right hand out. Slowly begin to crisscross. Slowly those fingertips outside of your left thigh. Okay. Finding your posture is so natural to like think back. All right, and then slowly begin to look to your left. Inhale and exhale. All right, both hands back to your hips. Let's find that with a little twist. So we'll slowly begin, and let me demonstrate this first. So slowly we'll begin with our hands up overhead. We'll clap our hands and slowly bring them to heart center. We'll bring our right hand to our hip, our left hand to our left knee first. And then we're going to take that hand and bring it to your chair, the back of the chair. So that can be lower, middle, upper, depending on your range of motion, okay? And then we're gonna twist depending on the range of motion. I went really high, but for tonight, I'll go low here. And then you're going to twist to the right. And then we're gonna hold it there for 3 breaths, okay? So let's do this together. You're new to this. So inhale, arms up overhead. Take a deep breath. Exhale. Clap your hands together. Slowly glide them to heart center. Let's start with that left hand, left knee. Right hand behind your chair. Remember, upper, middle, lower. What works for you. Find your posture first. And then slowly begin to twist to the right. Either gazing at first your shoulder, or twist deeper to find the gaze to the back of your chair. And then if you feel good for it tonight, big pause for you, the big twist, gazing behind, like just all the way behind your wall. So that big twist, wherever you're at, let's breathe here for 3. So an inhale and an exhale counts as 1 breath. So inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Let's find our way back to center. All right, let's begin to rub our thighs up and down, our hands over our thighs to build that heat. I know I'm already hot here in New York. Okay, inhale, arms up overhead. Clap them together, slowly glide them to heart center. Let's take a breath here. All right, right hand to right knee, left hand behind your chair, upper, middle, lower, depending on your range. And then slowly begin to twist to the right, to the left, to the left. We're on our left side, we're on our left side. Hold it here for 3 breaths. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. All right, finding your way back to center. Okay, it's like I want to cover so much, but I'm not going to do that tonight. So we'll do one last pose. So that would be, now that we covered our digestive system with some twists, opened our heart up a little bit, let's also warm up our ankles, or I should say for all the walking that we've done this morning, or if you haven't, this is just warming them up a little more. So let's find our hands at our hips and finding first your posture. Top of the navel, straight spine, and really slowly, let's begin to lift up our foot so that our heel is off the ground and your weight is on your toes. But if this does not feel good on your toes, if you have issues with your ankles, you can stay down because we'll add something else to this. Remember, this is still yoga, okay? So we're here, okay, let's bring that down, little stomps, Okay, let's go with the left side, lifting up that left heel, bringing that down. And let's go for the right heel and the left heel. So now both heels are off the ground. And slowly begin to bring those arms out in front of you. Now this is a little, you might get a little wobbly, and that's fine, and that's completely normal. We're gonna hold it here to build some heat, something different, right? Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. All right, slowly begin to bring those 2 feet down and slowly bring our hands to our hips. All right, so I'm gonna move forward. Now we're at our middle of the chair now. Just make our way back to the middle of the chair. Okay, so we're here and let's really slowly begin to bring out our arms, palms out. And then palms facing down. And let's find some pulsating movements all the way down. Pulsate, pulsate, pulsate. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. And let's release. And let's just end with rolling our shoulders forward, right? We did a lot of backwards. So let's roll the right shoulder forward, rolling the right shoulder forward, rolling the left shoulder forward. And now let's just roll both forward and exaggerate it, right? Feel it. It doesn't have to like look like me. It can even look like a swim, right? Just rolling your shoulders forward, forward. Go into it. Give yourself a different feeling today. All right, release. Let's take our hands. Let's bring them to our thighs. Let's start rubbing up and down our thighs. Let's slowly rub our upper thighs, right? This meaty area, we forget about this sometimes. Let's show this area some love. All right, warming up as we're gonna round down for class. All right, we're gonna do one of my favorite poses and 2 together. We'll do 2 together, and then we'll do two different ways, I should say. Let's crisscross our hands, palms facing us. You. Palms facing you. Let's uncross a big, big, big circle. Look up at the ceiling. The objective here is to look up at your hands while you're clapping them together, and then slowly watch them as you bring them back to heart center. All right, let's do that again. We're gonna crisscross our hands, palms facing you. And then we're gonna uncross them. Think of a big, big, nice circle. Open up your heart, ladies. Clap your hands together and then slowly glide them to heart center. All right. Now we're going to do 2 together at the screen in unison as a unified class. We'll take our time. So this time we're not gazing up at our palms. We're just gazing at each other. So let's crisscross your hands, palms facing you. Uncross some nice big circle going up. All right, clap your hands together and then slowly glide them to heart center. We'll do another one. Crisscrossing your hands, palms facing you. Uncross some nice big circle. Clap your hands together. Oh, I just did the opposite, but we're gazing at each other. All right, and let's take this last pose together. Slow down. All right, take a nice big inhale and exhale. Slowly part your lips open and let it go. We're gonna wind down for class tonight. We're gonna wind down for the rest of the evening. We'll start, if you wanna stay with your hands here at heart center or your hands on your lap, palms facing down. All right, straight spine, wherever you decided to place those hands. And let's start just like let's end just like we started class. So slowly find the soft gaze in the floor in front of you, until you're ready to slowly flutter your eyes closed. But if that's not for you tonight, that's fine. Just that small gaze in the light. And find a nice inhale. And exhale. We'll do a couple of those just with our mouth slightly parted open. Inhale. And exhale. And go melting your shoulders down with each breath. All right, we'll start with our crown of head. So we're going to do another grounding of our body with our breath. All right, and feel all your air. Let's see if we can do it with SH. Remember to take your time. Everyone's breath is different. Inhale, exhale. All right, let's focus on our face. Releasing any tension that you're holding on to. Maybe here, form a little Mona Lisa smile for gratitude. It also relaxes your jaw and your ankles. Sending breath down through your shoulders. Take this time to send breath to any areas of your body that might be a little tingly from class or still tingly from the day. Inhaling and exhaling. Inhaling and exhaling. Sending breath down to your lower back. Down to your hips. And if this is where you hold the most tension, as we do in our hips and our knees, just send all your focus of breath there to your hips and to your hips or to your knees. We're at our knees, our beautiful, beautiful knees. Inhaling and exhaling. Sending breath all the way down to your calves, back down to your hips. Let's remain here, breathing in your breath for 4 cycles. I'll end class with a quote and the ringing of the bowl. And we'll take a collective breath together as a unit body once. Quote tonight is, embrace and love your body. It is the most amazing thing you will ever, ever own. Wherever you're at, exhale all your air, maybe with that speech. Shh. Inhale through the nose, hold it at the top, and exhale. Slowly bring our hands to heart center if they're not already there. And thank yourselves for showing up. It is the most, like the best gift you can give yourself, is just showing up for you. All right. Again, thank you, thank you, thank you. Check it out. We still have some kinks. So the next mind, body, and spirit series will be on October 4th, which is a Wednesday. I am going closer to my screen in case Maria has any last minute words. I think we're okay. Is everyone good?
We're great.
Yeah.
Thank you. I got lots of pictures of people in motion.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yes.
Good.
Yes. I took some pictures.
I wanted to focus a little bit on the hips tonight, but it's okay. We didn't get to do that. It's okay. Another time.
So we want to thank Jeannie and Lucinda and Sabina and Lissette for being with us tonight. That was very eye-opening, ladies. Thank you very much for sharing your experience and trusting us with your truth, and it was wonderful. I think Clara, you have a question or you have a comment? You're waving your little hand. You're on mute, Mama.
I was actually waving my hand and saying hello and thank you, because I was able to do the hand motions, you know, but just to hear. But you know what? If it's just to hear, it's enough. And I felt that. I really did. Thank you.
Yes, that's what I mean. It's you know, yeah, do what you can for yourself. I learned really early on that you can create your own practice. You know, you don't always have to.
Yeah.
You know, I think that's one of the special thing. A lot of people don't say that, but you can
thank you so much.
Practice and then keep on going. All right, thank you, comadres. It's been beautiful. Have a beautiful.
All right, we'll see everyone in October.
Yes.
Have a good night, everyone.
Good night, everybody.
Thank you.